Hello people, I'm Vito, and welcome back to Castlevania Judgment with Robberlink.
Hello.
So, I went off and did all of the story paths with all the characters again, now that there's the true ending option. So I went and I recorded just the ending parts, the new parts, so if you're just joining in on this video, we've already done the main parts of the stories in separate videos for each individual character. But now we are going to go through and watch the true endings.
All right.
Right on time. You must be the chosen one.
Ah, yes, the chosen one.
Yeah, so we're going in order,
I sought. So what are you truly after?
starting with Simon.
We are trapped here by a common foe. We must escape.
Yes.
It is plain you speak the truth. Is there a way out?
No.
When all the souls imprisoned here are brought together, they will open the door leading to our enemy,
So our path is clear.
which leads to our final dilemma. The door will allow only a single being to enter.
I understand. So now we must see who is worthy of the task.
That is my desire.
Yeah, so for the most part, in this stage 11 and 12, which are these final fights, for the most part, I got them in like one try. Now that I knew what the final boss does and whatnot from our playthroughs of Shinoa and Aeon.
Right.
There were a few times where I had to do like more than one attempt, maybe two, or sometimes, rarely, three, against either Aeon or the final fight. In such a case, if you want, I could just, put in editing, there was an attempt cut out because it's already going to be like a little bit over 30 minutes just watching, us actually do this and win, not including the failed attempts. But yeah, just because it seems kind of,
Leave the rest to me. You may look on from there.
I was just going to say, just because of the way it is, and it's kind of like, oh yeah, there's just a bit of dialogue thrown in every now and then, I just didn't really process the fact that, they were actually sometimes getting things that they desired along the path of the 10 fights. So I guess for Simon, that was to test his strength against
On my
Trevor,
honor as at Belmont, I will destroy
one of his
you.
ancestors. Alright,
And
so
of course, Mr. I come from 10.
not 9, not 11, not 12, 10. Yeah, that particular move that he uses, you just need to either guard or hope that it doesn't happen to spawn one of those spheres on you. But everything else is pretty predictable. And, yeah, the only problem I still had a few times was sometimes I rolled under that laser beam.
And it still hit.
Yeah, sometimes, but it wasn't too big of a problem. Ooh, still got the guard on that one. Yeah, because these are pre-recorded, I don't remember exactly how all these went. But yeah, I don't think I had any trouble in either of these two fights. I didn't have to re-attempt them or anything. Just need to run around during that one. The reason I do that, even though it's just a 3, is because I want to be in that mode of doing that for later on when he does like 5 in a row.
Yeah.
Because then if I also guard against the skulls, that might break my guard and that'd be a problem. Oh, I don't know if I probably figured out when I played it long ago, but I think if you hit the attack button as you're about to land from being knocked over, you can do a roll and just get back up. And I did it the previous time I got knocked over here. Whoop.
Oh, I didn't notice. Huh. Also, ouch.
Well, surprisingly, I still survived, so, yeah, you're gonna die. I will be making sure of that. Just a few more slaps. Nope, we gotta run away first.
Alright, now slap.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
Ah, migraine.
So, here, you can read these.
Thus the rift in time was mended, and all were returned to their respective eras.
That sentence is probably always the same, but... Here, come on.
6 years later, a mysterious woman would tell Simon Belmont of the curse placed upon him. To free himself from that curse, he would have to collect Dracula's remains, his nail, heart, rib bone, eyeball, and ring, and burn them all at the ruins of Castlevania. And with that, Simon set off on a new quest.
Yeah, so it seems like, at least, I haven't actually read all of these, but it seems like for the most part they describe like what game they're going to be going into. You know, like the beginning of whatever game they're from.
Okay.
I'm not sure which one that would be. But yeah, we're just jumping right into the next one. Right on time. For everyone, no matter how long it took.
This was all as you had planned.
You know, on the one hand,
just one last thing.
they don't say things like and
Have I not collected every key?
Instead, they just
What
do
lies
awkward
beyond that
silence
door?
while they collect themselves.
There doesn't even need to be
from 10,000 years
a silence usually. I think it's just that they have a very specific length of time before each audio clip plays, just in case one is longer than the others or whatever, and they don't modify it for any reason apparently.
Yeah.
They just keep it very consistent,
So that's
which
why
leaves
you're
these
here.
gaps whenever there's a short line or just not a very long one.
Is English...
You
Was this
catch
game
on
originally made in English?
quick. Shall we get started?
Judging by the credits, I'd say probably not.
That's what I'm thinking. So it could also be just a lot of the sentences are a little bit longer in Japanese or whatever.
Somehow I actually kind of doubt that.
Well, I don't know. That's the only reason I would think of for them to not modify the length of the audio.
Well, if they just
Like
wanted it to be,
clips.
if they just wanted it to be consistent in the first place, then like it might still be this kind of the same in Japanese, where there's like an unusually long gap between every line. Well, this one was pretty fast.
Okay, I clearly wasn't paying
Into this
attention.
useless fighting.
It was over before we realized it.
Alright then.
On to the Time Reaper once again. So yeah, I'm playing these in order of the same order that we played through their stories in the first place, which
This
is,
place is
you know,
not for
Simon
such
and
as you.
Alucard, because they were the ones that we started with unlocked, and then
Right.
in the sequence that we unlocked them.
I assume you'll be skipping over Shinoa.
Actually, no. I am actually going to have these in two separate episodes because it would take about 60 minutes to go through all of them. So there's going to be one 30-minute episode,
Oh,
and then the other half of them are going to be in our episode.
really? Because these fights don't seem to be taking too long.
Well, it's been almost 10 minutes, and this is
Wait,
only...
really?
It's, yeah, it looks like it's been about 8 minutes. Maybe minus a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
And we're only on character 2.
Alright. That's fair, I guess. I blame this guy. He's messing with the time
Yeah.
relativity.
It's like, is he actually messing with it? He's trying to destroy the reality somehow with time and whatever, but
No, in the real world. He's messing with my judgment of it. Wait, that's why it's called judgment.
indeed, I was going to say,
It messes with your judgment.
of time. Apparently I got pretty low on health on this one. But yeah, once you avoid the big laser, that's plenty of time to just do whatever the heck you need to.
And then kill him before he hits you with those.
Yep.
I'll be back in 10.
Like, what, 10 minutes? 10 millennia?
He'll never know. Those the rest of time was spent in all respective areas.
Okay, now speak clearly, please.
Alucard continued to search for a way to destroy Dracula once and for all, when a prophecy foretold the arrival of a great Lord something. Then prophecy became reality. Using a solar eclipse, Alucard succeeded in breaking Dracula's endless cycle of restoration.
Resurrection.
I didn't get that far. But then came a new prophecy. In 2035, during a solar eclipse, a castle will arise in Japan. So Alucard infiltrated a top-secret Japanese government agency and resumed his vigil.
Is that the end of the text? Okay, yeah. I believe that leads into the beginning of Aria of Sorrow, which is a game I have played. And the main character of that game is surprisingly not in this. Soma
You
Cruz.
must be the chosen one.
So there are Castlevania games that take
Touch
place
of
like
what I
in the
desire.
future?
Just as you
I know
promised.
that one does. I don't know about
Excellent.
any of the others other than its
However,
direct sequel.
To leave this place, you must pass one
Because
last
again,
trial.
whips, monsters, that all
And what is
seems
that?
I think
not very modern.
The
I think he
enemy
does
that
use a
trapped us
whip. I
here,
don't know if it's the vampire
he
killer
will
or not. I
destroy
don't
this
remember.
era of time.
Well, that's the only reason you
He
use
must
a whip
be stopped.
would be if it's legendary or magical, right?
In that case,
I
will
don't know.
Defeat him.
Ah, but there is still one problem. We will have but a single chance to defeat him.
Then let us decide who is best suited to face him.
That is my desire.
So, you know, one thing that gets me is in fantasy games. You know how weapons can usually be enchanted, be magical or whatever?
Yeah.
Try again.
Swords and anything with a blade that makes contact with an enemy, I understand. What about a bow?
Do you have to enchant every individual arrow?
Yeah. Like in some cases, yes, you do. It's in the arrows. Or in other games or settings, it's the bow. But theoretically, in the settings where it's a bow, couldn't you enchant a gun the same way? So that it just, casts a fire spell on every single bullet or whatever.
I'm just thinking to Terraria because I played it recently, and it's kind of both in that case. Oh look, ring out. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but I completely whiffed an alt. I don't think I meant to
You were
press the
wrong
alt button.
not to believe in
You
my
whiffed?
powers.
Yeah, like I just did it while I was nowhere near him.
Huh. Sorry. It's not a term I'm familiar with.
I think I'm using it right. Hopefully. Yes.
Elemental spirits, lend me your power.
Don't mind that I popped into existence there after the camera already panned. Another thing I wanted to mention. Whoops.
Whack.
Yeah. So the thing that the Time Reaper says when you defeat him doesn't always seem to be the same. Sometimes he's just like "Gah," or whatever. But I think if you go back in this video, I think the first 2 times I beat him, he specifically said Lord Gammaroth or something like that.
Huh.
I think it was Gammaroth. Or Galamoth? Yeah, Lord Galamoth. I had to look it up because that's not a character I know. And apparently that is the villain from the Kid Dracula games, which is like an offshoot that has like a cartoony little mini Dracula-like character that's, I guess, supposed to be the kid of Dracula, so... I
But
guess,
not Alucard.
well, I guess because it was, from so long ago, I guess now it would canonically be Alucard. Just at the time it wasn't. They wasn't named that or whatever.
Huh.
But yeah, because at that point he wasn't against his own father, they had to make up a new villain, and I guess that was Galamoth. Anyways, text incoming.
Thus the rift in time was mended and all returned to their respective eras.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Sypha Belnades returned to battle as a hunter for the church.
I think it's Belnatus.
Belnadus. Sorry. Years later, a powerful vampire appeared, calling himself Dracula. The church wasted no time in arranging a hunting party. Sypha would travel to a land well known for its fear of witches. Only a few months earlier, a young woman had been killed there on
Suspicion of
witchcraft. To protect herself, Sypha decided she would enter the battle in disguise as a man.
Oh. I didn't know that part. But yeah,
Is there a woman here? No?
Right
no?
on
no.
time.
Are
You
you
must
sure?
be the chosen one.
Alright.
I wonder if my wish has been granted.
Time will bring what you desire. Yet you should realize your faith in appearances will fade like a dream.
Oh yeah, that's what she wanted. Apparently just a bigger
Yeah,
chest.
Well,
Are you
maybe.
serious?
I think so, because you remember the
There is
fights
still a
that
great
she was on?
enemy that must be
Yes.
That
defeated.
was her entire
The
focus.
door to that foe is already open.
Yeah, and I
An
think,
evil villain?
Seriously, if I were her, I would just hope to be
Which
taller.
leads
yeah,
to our
I think for
final dilemma.
Sypha,
The door
I think it was
will
like
allow
Carmilla
only
might have
single beings
incited
to
people to start witch hunting and so she got like revenge on her or something. I think that was her desire. And then Alucard, of course, is just, you know, kill the evil people.
Yes.
But yeah, I think about Lord Galamoth. So it sounds like, you know how I said there's Dracula and usually his most powerful servant is Death?
Right.
I guess the Time Reaper is kind of the equivalent of that for this Galamoth character. And I think, so Galamoth is the one who, you know, made the Time Reaper do this whole thing to try and eliminate the era of time that Dracula exists in or something.
Huh.
Because Galamoth wants to be the big bad, but Dracula's more powerful.
Interesting. Kind of curious how that works with there being a Time Reaper and Death, but I guess we'll find out in the next episode, because Death was like one of the last characters we unlocked.
Yeah, I don't know if he actually says anything special about it.
Well, I mean, Death himself says something. Was this?
Okay.
This is new.
Yeah, for some reason, I was really not doing well against this. I think this is actually my third attempt on this specific fight. And yeah, if you destroy all the pillars that hold up the other gears, other than the central one, then apparently those rollers will come in to play.
Huh.
And they'll just hurt you if you touch them, kind of like in that other stage. So yeah, I just ulted him. I was like, just get this over with.
Die.
Yeah.
I've had enough.
Okay, I'll take it from here. I'll do my best.
And hopefully not, yeah, scrape your face across the floor again, as was the entirety of your playthrough.
28 floor scrapings later.
Yeah, I think in those fights against Aeon that
Suzaku, Genbu, Seiryu, give me your strength.
I lost, I think Aeon knocked me off somehow. Probably because that one move where you go kicking against the opponent, but you're like flying and you can easily miss. That's probably why. But yeah, just as she was starting this fight, she mentioned what I think are those 4 special creatures that she has the power over.
Right.
And I think she mentions the name of one whenever she does that thing that looks like it's a rock.
Yeah.
I guess that's supposed to be like a turtle shell, and it sounded like it was Genbu. But whenever she uses that move, it sounds like she says, "Dimples, watch out." It's like, "Dimples, watch out!" But I guess
No, I just hear like some gibberish and then help.
yeah, I think it's supposed to be Genbu, watch out. Like, watch out for Genbu, he's going to fall on you.
No, I just hear, like, now I hear Genbu, but I still hear help. Like, help. Especially since she kind of, like, cowers when she does it, it looks like. Maybe? No, wait.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I need to see it again. Yeah, she kind of, like, crouches down, I think.
Incoming!
Take cover!
We're being shelled! Alright, can I avoid? Yeah, I avoided the first one.
Oh my god.
Because she slides across the floor, of course. Her hitbox goes so low.
Not convenient. But I just realized the game shelled. Like,
Oh, you didn't...
no, wait, not shelled, but like, there was a different game that was based off shelled. That was 3D, but your tanks looked like turtle shells, kind of, I
Well,
think.
that was shelled. Are you
That
talking
was
about...
shelled.
Are you talking about based off of Scorched Earth?
Yes.
Okay, real quick. Text.
The next year, Maria set out in search of the missing Richter Belmont. A year into her quest, Castlevania suddenly reappeared 5 years after its destruction. Inside, Maria met Alucard once again, and finally found Richter. But Richter had become a completely different man, having named himself the Lord of Castlevania. What?
But... like, what was the meme? It's like, you've become the one thing you sought to destroy. Yeah, that's strange. Did he become possessed?
I don't know.
But yeah, Scorched Earth. There's like a 3D remake called Scorched 3D, but then there was also
You must
Shelled.
be the chosen one.
Yes.
And I think Shelled has been taken offline. I don't think the servers are up or anything anymore.
All right.
Time heals all wounds.
Oh yeah,
However, the hour of
Grant
our
had a
escape
particularly
approaches.
hard time. I guess maybe his desire was to see Sypha again or something, or to prove himself more worthy of her.
We have just gained access to the door
But
leading
yeah,
to our
so
enemy.
sorry about my mixing up old games, referencing other old games,
Okay, yeah.
puns.
Which leads
Anyway.
to our final dilemma. The door
Spiky
will allow
guy.
only a single being to
It's like,
enter.
it was pretty fine other than having my heart ripped
Who
out.
fights and who stays. Either way
I don't know if you caught that part.
Yeah.
Excellent. Then we shall decide by combat.
It's like, as we do everything here, by combat, because it's a combat-based game. It's like, wait, can't we do rock, paper, scissors? Nope.
It's like, hey, we're gonna go get coffee. Who's paying? We'll decide by combat.
Well, he's dead. He won't need any coffee anymore, so I don't need to pay for it. Whoop.
Time to lose.
Well, that was an easy
Guess
win.
that settles that.
How'd you get back up?
Double jump.
No, I'm just. That's it. Like, they're both dead, so. The Time Reaper's just waiting, like. I come from 11,000 years in the. No. No, I'll workshop
Take care
it.
of business.
I think it's been 12 by now.
Ready?
Is he actually going to be destroying the timeline or whatever? Or is he just holding everyone here indefinitely to prevent it from progressing? Is that the real strategy?
That just. Seems like it's gonna be perpetual.
It's
and
like,
boring.
yeah, but it's like, I stay here forever. But that way Dracula doesn't get to be the big bad anymore.
But, like, how does Galamoth, or whomever,
Yeah, Galamoth.
Galamoth, how has he become the big bad if...
Maybe he just stays out of this timeline. But yeah, I guess that's the whole thing, is Aeon's like a protector of, you know, time and whatever. So he's like, no, you can't do that.
Wait a minute, that's illegal.
Yeah, I'm the time police.
I already made a Time Lord joke, didn't I?
I think so, but I've never seen, what is it,
Doctor Who.
yeah.
Don't worry, I haven't either. It's just that it's so popular that I see a few terms floating around.
Yeah.
He hasn't been saying anything when he dies, has he?
I think he has, it's just,
Because I don't see the subtitles.
well, that's the thing, there are no subtitles for what he says.
Ah.
That's why I had to listen in extremely closely to figure out what he was saying.
Right. Yes, the rift in time was mended. The end. Grant once again threw himself, body and soul, into the revival of the ruined towns. What?
The place he came from, I guess.
The scars Dracula had left on his land ran so deep, Grant would devote his entire life to healing them. In time, Grant would no longer be known as a vampire hunter, but instead be remembered as the hero who rebuilt Wallachia.
Like, with or without the spikes still being worn? It's like, do you still need to be wearing those?
You must be the chosen one.
Alright, who's
My
next?
business here is finished. Kindly show me the way out.
Ah, pompous.
I'm sorry to inform you we are being held here by a mutual enemy.
It's like, I don't care. Let me out of here anyway.
And yet you chose to come here. So I bet you know a way out.
We can now open the door to our final enemy. But we must decide who will fight him.
I'll do it.
Then
gonna
there's
stab
no
him.
problem.
He's
I
not
will
getting in
go.
my way.
Ah, but there is still one problem. We will have but a single chance to defeat him.
Okay.
And you don't believe in me yet. Fine, I'll take you on.
Okay, so that's how they...
That is my desire.
Right. I was like, how are they going to rationalize this fight?
It's always, you know, only one person can go through, so...
But it's like, alright, I'll do it. But we must decide by combat. But I already agreed to this and you don't seem to mind. Yes, but we must decide by combat. Alright, fine.
It's like if we were gonna have this fight anyway, why didn't we do it like this stage 1? Why were you holding back? Oh god, he's not holding back.
What are you thinking?
Ouch.
Yeah, there was something else I was gonna say. What was it? Dang it, can't remember now. I've lost it.
Oh well.
I think one of the other things I was gonna mention is that that Lord Yalamoth, I guess he's supposed to be some sort of lizard king or something.
What?
And I think I heard that he's also like maybe like a mini boss or a boss in one of the other games, like as a callback or something. I forget. Also, I was surprised I had to resort to using the alt in this fight.
Have you like been trying to avoid that, or?
Well, no, it's sometimes I just don't. It doesn't occur to me because I'm doing so well. But in that case, even though I was doing so good up until that point, it's like I was fighting Aeon and suddenly I'm not doing so good.
Suddenly you're like
It might
15% health.
It might help to actually use the alt here. Okay, fine, I'll do it.
No pressure. It's not like he has over half health and I'm almost dead.
Oh yeah, I think I was gonna say, it's funny how he says, we only have one chance at this. And then, you know, when we were first fighting him, or when I was first fighting him as Shinoa and Aeon, you know, it took me so many attempts. It's like, we only have one shot at this. Ugh. We only have one shot at this. Ugh. We only have one shot at this. Ugh. It's like, well, so that was a freaking lie, thankfully.
Oh, that frame drop.
Yeah.
We only have one shot at this. Asterisk. Note. 1 times a million.
There's also a very, I don't know if anyone cares about it, but a technical thing. I think it's going to be in the second episode, but when I went through this as Cornell, the recording, something strange happened. Every, you know, few moments or something, there would be like a slight gap in the audio where it just cuts out the audio. I don't think it actually cut it out, but it like left a gap that it inserted at certain points. So if you notice that at any point in this video or the next, I don't know why OBS decides to do that. Not sure how I'd fix that, but it doesn't seem to happen, or at least not that I've noticed, when we do longer, you know, like a full episode of like either this or Paper Mario. It's just when I was doing these small clips of the final endings. It happened, I noticed a few times just during the Cornell one.
Huh.
So, don't know why, but if you noticed that, sorry.
I haven't really been able to hear the audio too well from here. Like, just enough for the voices, really.
Yeah.
And the effects. Thus, the rift in time was mended.
You getting tired of hearing it yet?
Many years later, Eric's true love would be turned into a vampire by Dracula's niece, Elizabeth
Bartley?
Bartley. Rudely awakened to his destiny, Eric joined John Morris to help unleash the powers sealed into something.
Vampire Killer Whip?
Together, they succeeded in destroying both Countess Bartley and Dracula. Yeah, the background didn't help me reading. But soon that triumph would be tainted, when Eric learned of the terrible price that came with the full power of the whip. A massive frickin' ego, and no one liked to hang out with him anymore.
Well, no, that was before that. Because that's what he's going into.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Me leave here. Me lose thinking.
Ah, so you've realized. Yes, when you leave this place, you will lose your self-awareness.
Oh, he doesn't get a happy ending.
Human fear me. Me no like it.
Yet if this place is not erased, all beings everywhere will disappear forever.
Me afraid to be gone. But me more afraid all human be gone.
It's weird that
Which
this
leads to our final dilemma.
is the character I'm most
The door
emotionally
will allow
invested
only
in.
a
I was actually thinking, this is actually like a good
Fight for
sort of
human.
plot thing that's actually, you know,
Human do.
not like, oh, I'm a hero, I'm here, I want to get out.
I see.
Probably
Then we will
because
begin
everyone
the
else
final
is,
trial.
Yeah,
like, from other games brought in here.
there is actually something to be invested in, it feels like, when it comes to Golem. I believe Golem is the last one for this episode. Two things I was going to say. One, just because the way we're doing this, I have like the volume set to max, but we're listening to it through like a cheap headset that we're just holding between us, so it is very quiet. it's I don't know. The best we can do at the moment, probably. I don't think I have an actual set of speakers we could use for this, so that's why we can't hear a lot of this. It's kind of quiet, but we can barely make out, what they're saying and whatnot. Also, I was going to mention that, yeah, it mentioned for Eric, John Morris, or Jonathan. That's one of the two main characters in Portrait of Ruin, which I have played. I just didn't remember that Eric was a part of that. Oh.
Wait, he actually pulled that off?
Yeah. And now he's trying to use his ult, but he tried too late, so I could still get him.
Oh, I thought that was his ult. I forgot.
Yeah, because... It's like, apparently, you can spam the ult or the item, and it doesn't take away from anything because the match is already over.
Nice.
So I just keep using the item, and it doesn't take away any hearts. Yeah, I think... I don't know what charges it up, but I think for Aeon, eventually he'll get that blue aura, then a green one, then yellow. And I think it's when it's yellow that he can freeze time, and that's when you're supposed to ult. And that's what he tried doing, but he didn't actually start his ult until, like, his time freeze was over halfway through. So he wasn't ready to actually do the ult by the time I was free to move again. So I punished him for it.
To be fair, I think when you were playing Aeon, fighting against Dracula, wasn't there a point where, like, you literally froze time and tried to ult, and that still wasn't enough?
I know I froze time with an item, which doesn't last as long. And I think against someone else, I did accidentally, not knowing how I did it, use his time stop, which is much more lengthy. And I think that's the first time I used his ult successfully.
Okay.
But that was not the Dracula fight, I don't think. So I think that's how it works. So I think when it's... So, like, there's a move that when he doesn't have any charge, he'll swing from really far away, like the really extended clock hand. I think if it's charged up to blue, he does the laser beam. I think if it's charged up to green, he does, like, the two-thing swing where it's like a helicopter blade thing.
Yeah.
And then when it's gold, he stops time. I think that's how it works.
Also, that was pretty impressive, if down to the wire. Thus the rift in time was mended, and all were returned to their respective eras.
Including Golem without his self-awareness.
As Aeon had warned, Golem's newfound self-awareness could not persist outside that special dimension.
Darn it.
After his return, he was destroyed by some unknown hunter, still oblivious to all he had experienced in the rift. He was created to oppose man, but for a brief moment, his soul awakened. Had he the words, he would only have wanted to express the joy of thinking and acting for oneself. I didn't get...
Yeah, I wasn't reading it either, sorry. Alright, so I think that's the end of this for now.
The only one that I liked, it's a bittersweet tragedy.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Alright, so...
I thought there was something else I was going to mention real quick. But I've forgotten again.
Yeah, I kind of interrupted for the
yeah,
text.
That's alright. Oh yeah, I think I was just going to say, I think it might have taken me more than one attempt with Golem to do the final fight, or maybe against Aeon, maybe both. I don't remember, but like I said, I might put it in editing, say like when it took more than one attempt. But yeah, so I think we'll end this episode here, and we shall continue with the other half of the true endings next time.
So, we'll see you then. Goodbye for now, folks.
Goodbye.